YouTube, welcome to another Player 2 game strategy guide. Let's go. As always, before we begin, don't forget to hit that subscribe button below so you don't miss any of our future videos. As well, check our live stream out on Facebook. All that information is down below in the description. Alright, let's dive into this. I primarily stick to 4 different weapon classes, and I choose depending on the type of game I want to play, the mood I'm in, or the squad that's playing alongside me. My basic strategy is to always be prepared for every fight no matter the distance. Be equally prepared for long-range standoff as well as close-range warfare. I'll start off with my go-to. This is usually the class I'll start any gaming session with, my Grau HDR class. The Grau has very quickly become my favorite weapon in the game, an extremely versatile gun. Depending on the attachments you use, this weapon dominates the playing field close range to mid range. My build for this weapon is accuracy, velocity, stability, and maximum damage over range. For the muzzle, an obvious choice, the monolithic suppressor. For barrel, you can either roll with the Tempest or the Nexus, depending on how much mobility you're looking for. The Commando foregrip for the underbarrel, which is great at controlling that vertical and horizontal recoil. I use the 50 round extended mag rather than the 60 because I don't believe the extra 10 rounds is worth the loss in mobility and control. And lastly, for rear grip, the Cronin Sniper Elite. As for the HDR, I have only recently made the switch from relying primarily on ARs and marksman rifles to sniper rifles for my long-range battles, and I am glad I did it. The HDR is by far the best choice as far as snipers go. It does shoot slower than the other snipers, however it has little to no bullet drop at insane distances, with more than enough damage to drop a fully armored target with a well-placed headshot. My attachments for this weapon are based on a good balance between velocity and damage, as well as ADS and mobility. I start off with the monolithic suppressor for the muzzle, the 26.9 HDR Pro for the barrel, and the tactical laser, since laser visibility shouldn't be much of an issue when I'm sniping. For my scope, I'm using the variable zoom as opposed to the thermal, simply for the fact that the thermal scope slows ADS down an insane amount. For stock, I use the FTAC Hunter Scout. My second class lowers my effectiveness at long range, but allows me to be extremely versatile in close and mid-quarters combat, my Grau MP5 class. This Grau is built virtually the exact same as my previous class. The MP5 is equally devastating at close range, highly effective at taking down multiple enemies, and is arguably one of the best SMGs in the game. This weapon is built around hipfire accuracy and mobility, as I rely on this primarily for super close quarters combat. For sound suppression, my muzzle is set to the monolithic suppressor. For stock, I use the FFS for close quarters, the sleight of hand perk for a quick reload, the 45 round mag, and lastly, the Merc foregrip for the underbarrel for that hipfire accuracy. Next up is not my first choice, but probably the most fun to use, my Grau Carbine class. For this one, I completely switch up my Grau's attachments to have it perform more like an SMG with insane mobility and damage. A Grau built like this does not disappoint. First off, I shorten the underbarrel with the ZLR Drifter, increasing that mobility 7-fold. Next up is the tac laser for even more mobility and control. Next, I remove the stock for a super boost in mobility. For rear grip, I use the XRK Void, and lastly, attach that 50 round mag. For my second weapon, I use the Carbine Wish Me Luck series. Though this weapon doesn't have as high damage and velocity as the sniper class, don't underestimate its power to take down enemies at mid to long range. And there's something about popping heads with this lever action that is incredibly satisfying. First off, the monolithic suppressor, followed by the FFS 24 factory barrel. I attach the tac laser for accuracy, mobility, and control. For scope, the Wish Me Luck series sniper scope, and ending off with the rubberized grip tape. And lastly, my Ghost class. The only time I will ever choose this class is when my entire team has Ghosts as well, or if I'm just feeling like blowing something up with my RPG. There is little to no point in running Ghost unless your entire squad is, because all it takes is that one blip on the heartbeat monitor or UAV to give away your squad's position, rendering your Ghost perk obsolete. First up is the M4A1 to switch things up from the Grau, and a personal favorite of mine from the Modern Warfare franchise. Devastating up close and reliable at mid-range distances. My M4 build is for insane accuracy and recoil reduction as well as control. I start off as always with the monolithic suppressor and move all the way down down to the stock with the M16 stock. Move down to the rear grip and attach the rubberized grip tape. I then attached the 9mm Para 32 round mag, simply because the damage drop isn't substantial enough to turn me away from the control and accuracy boost, and is countered with the increase in fire rate anyways. And then I finish off the weapon with a Commander foregrip for that recoil control. And for my second weapon, the trusty RPG, the noob tube of Warzone. These have been nerfed since the game came out, but nonetheless one of the most exciting and devastating weapons to use against enemy operators and vehicles. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe to catch all of our future videos, and drop us a comment below with your favorite loadouts. I'm always game to try something new. Head over to Facebook to catch our live stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday night for some open party squad entertainment. Until next time, cheers.